When I am out and about as a hotel tester, examining the different five-star hotels, I naturally have a certain level of anticipation for the specific hotel I have booked because it has assured me of an extraordinarily beautiful experience in its information, either on the website or perhaps in some promotional videos. As someone who evaluates hotels, it is important for me to have high expectations and be excited about the potential of each hotel I visit. When I see this, like this advertisement, to get myself ready and say, okay, there awaits me, for example, a great spa area, or I can reach a large swimming pool there, maybe they have especially delicious food there, or the rooms are just so exceptionally great in a new design, and I just have an extreme amount of joy. One thing I don't worry about is, for example, the basic equipment. That means, for example, a phone works, the light works, the shower head works, that the bathtub can be filled with water, that the room is clean, that I also find a water in the room, that if I am a member, I also receive a warm welcome from either housekeeping or guest relations manager, or maybe even from the director, to whom you send warm regards and say that he is happy that I am in the house. He either provided me with a small treatment or invited me to the on-site club lounge where he has an amazing start. However, when I arrive at a hotel and encounter these fundamental things which should not even need to be mentioned, and they are not functioning properly, then I must say that is truly a significant problem that cannot be overlooked. If the faucet doesn't work, the phone doesn't function, or the lights don't turn off properly, or the air conditioning also has a problem, then what is it when the guest is in the hotel? It is too late. It is too late to rectify it now. Then the hotel actually missed out on everything in order to make preparations for me according to what I had originally booked, you know, because I booked these things. And it's not just like that under the motto, we don't have air conditioning today because we're cleaning it now. The hotel can and must do that, of course, and that's a good sign for me that it does. But it can only do that if, for example, there is no guest. Or I merely clean the hallways, as every hotel generally has approximately 10, 15, or even 20 floors. Consequently, for each floor, I meticulously plan in advance for a specific day when I am fully aware that there will be no guests occupying that particular floor during my cleaning routine. So there cannot be any guests there because I am performing cleaning, I am repairing the air conditioning, because, you know, working in hotels, which have to be done once a year, many hotels don't even do it anymore, but if they do, then, especially in the luxury segment, we guests shouldn't have to suffer from it. And it is simply insufficient to arrive the day prior and state, yes, valued guest, you will be accommodated in room number 27 on the 27th day of the month, on the floor. But tomorrow and the day after tomorrow, we have cleaning work in the rooms, we want to renovate, and we would like to offer you the option to switch to another room. The day before, especially in the evening, is a bit cheeky. It's a downright outrageous fact that you can't just do it a day before. However, if the guest has been staying here for a week or possibly even 10 days, then you can certainly inform them beforehand. Or I will put the guest on a floor where no renovations are taking place during the time they are there, particularly if it is a guest who is staying longer. So I have been here for a little over 14 days because I wanted to do some video editing and I still have so many things to do. That's why I stayed at a hotel for a longer time. That's obviously convenient. So I don't have to move to a different hotel daily. And that's also something cozy. Yeah, so like when you know you feel comfortable here, there's a club lounge at the Athenee and there are friendly staff here. And specifically for the things I had planned, that was absolutely perfect. I became so comfortable that I completely forgot that there could be any problems whatsoever. And these problems started pretty early here in this hotel, and I haven't even noticed it yet. The whole situation started when on a Sunday, the hot water pipes were turned off and cleaned, even the heating system was cleaned, and as a result, there was no hot water available for use. Not a major problem, we can handle it. We'll find a solution, no matter what. They have consistently informed me politely, always in writing, and I have the evidence from their side. Accepted. It would have been nice if they had said, especially if they are loyal customers like Mr. Horn or even guests who stay longer, that they say, we have something special for you here. I don't know, some little thing that the director of the house brings to my room or some kind of compensation points. We'll give you 5,000 points for your disadvantage, but we want to ensure you're well taken care of here, of course. I'd be thrilled. For real, I'd think, wow, that's amazing. It put this hotel in a whole new light. The night before, an individual from the club lounge approaches me and says, "Hey, Koen Frank, we have an air conditioning unit that requires cleaning tomorrow. Do we offer you the opportunity to possibly relocate? We would provide you with a suite." So now I have 4 more days to stay here, and I was thinking, an air conditioner, I looked where it is, it's a little further up here. That wouldn't bother me now if it's cleaned in the day. I can stay in the room. I didn't find it dramatic. My comfort includes, so I expressed my thanks. When things get tough, I'll make sure to contact you and give you a holler. Otherwise, everything is in a good state. Now, it turns out that this is not just a cleaning of an air conditioning system, but the entire hallway, the entire floor has undergone a renovation process. That implies all things have been repaired in each and every room. There were renovations taking place in various locations, including painting, air conditioning repairs, knocking, and hammering. For 2 days I thought, well, they got me a little bit after all. They offered me to move into a suite, but after 14 days of settling in, I didn't want to pack everything up and move it into the suite. It made more sense for me to just move out instead of going through the hassle of relocating everything. We will definitely remember that. Strip down right away for future things. I have learned to update my system during the night to ensure it is always up to date. I thought it was nice to be informed a day in advance and to receive compensation in the form of an upgrade to a suite, but 3 or 4 days before checkout, I wasn't really happy about it. And the fact that these climate cleaning works then turned out to be a complete renovation of the floor, I found that really outrageous, that they actually proceeded with it. So I went to the hotel and sent a written complaint to the management expressing my feeling of being deceived and stating that the situation is unacceptable to me given the current circumstances. And I would like compensation in the amount of 25,000 points or a discount on a future booking, or even now for these remaining 3 or 4 days, that they lower the rate for me a bit. Interestingly, I then received a nice email in response, which didn't address my concern at all, namely the payment and compensation, but rather brushed it off and simply said, "Yes, we're very sorry about that. We had provided you, and from our side we hope everything is okay." What is intriguing about this is the substantial big difference between the United States, Germany, and Asia. In Asia, when it comes to compensation generosity, they can be quite difficult. I've learned that here now. Unlike Europe and even America, if something like that had happened there, they would have definitely given compensation in the form of points, and then the matter would have been settled. I think this type of compensation is the best, because the other one is not compensation, it's just an apology. And an apology, that was actually too little for me for this story. So I wrote again, asking if that was all. And they still haven't addressed this issue. And I had to then understand that they were definitely not willing here, because they had offered me a move and compensation. All right, I have come to terms with the fact that it is what it is. And I truly said I have to learn something from this story and extract valuable lessons. I am moving out today. I packed my things today. And on the day of moving out, after breakfast, I discovered this note in my room last night. The note had information stating that the electricity will be turned off today. Number 3 of this whole story. And just because of that, I would have expected the hotel to at least offer me a little compensation. You just don't do that. And for that reason, I went straight to the point and said, I need to find a solution for myself here in the future. I need to locate something that simplifies, enhances it. There is absolutely no way I am ever going to reserve a hotel for a duration longer than 2 days in the future. By the way, I also noticed that there are actually advantages to not booking hotels for too long. Because, when I book a hotel, for example, for 14 days, then I can't get out of those 14 days anymore. I need to make payment for these 14 days as they are firmly booked by me. If I had booked this hotel, the Athenee, for example, only for 2 nights, and then extended for another night, and then 2 more nights or another night, whatever, and if I hadn't been so comfortable, I would have said, okay, if I don't feel comfortable anymore, then I'll go to another hotel, because I come up with a new idea that in the future I will do much better, except that I have to give up comfort. That's the only thing. That in the future I will only book hotels through these systems for a maximum of 2 days. And then an additional 2 days and another day because I just realized that, for example, the installments are always different from one another. If I make a reservation within a week, I do not always have the entire week available. For instance, $100. But one day costs 100, the other 120, the other 140, then again 100, then again 120, then again 100. And if I examined this type of booking more closely, I would have been in a more advantageous position. As an illustration, I would have solely booked this hotel exclusively on the days when it costs a mere $100 per night. And then I would go to another hotel, for example, one that is nearby, where I can just go across the street with my suitcase, and I would go to another hotel that also has good prices for 3 or 4 days, and I would move there. Simultaneously, I have the chance to acquire 1,000 points on each occasion I perform a check-out and check-in process. If I check in 100 times during 100 overnight stays in a year, I will receive an additional 100,000 points. But if I stay for up to a week or 10 days, I only get 1,000 points for the entire stay once. On top of that, I can get not only 1,000 points, but also check out at any time because I only book from one day to the next. That means if I don't like this type and this story of the hotel, I'm out of here and just book the next hotel. If it's not just about money now, but about the fact that I want to afford myself the luxury of being free, not to become dependent, like in this case, because I was dependent. Well, I couldn't have moved out earlier either. I wouldn't have been able to say I'm moving out now because they still would have demanded the money from me. So I have to create a new system for myself as a member and as a guest in the future. And I'm currently in the process of planning this system, and there will be an extra video for that, which also gives you the opportunity to think differently in the future. Because we have a lot of options right now, so we as customers are the winners and not just the hotels all the time. So, the way this system went down here at Hotel Athenee really disappointed me, because I had to come to the realization that firstly, in Asia, they are quite difficult and uncompromising when it comes to issues of compensation. It is me who is dependent, and I must come to the realization in the future that I do not want to be in this state of dependency any longer. And that's why this hotel, Athenee, gets an absolute thumbs up from me. And in the future, I'll definitely book this hotel again because, and this is important, it's a good hotel. Good employees, good hotel, well located, great place. As ambassador members, as titanium members, we get a nice upgrade here. We can use the club lounge available here. It's worth mentioning that this club lounge is not particularly high quality. But she offers more than a business lounge. If I were at Marriott now, it wouldn't be comparable. The only real difference is that in a Marriott hotel, in a business hotel, there are often hot meals. Here they do have a hot dish, but it's always cold. This hotel just can't seem to get the food hot in this club lounge. Additionally, they should ensure that hot dishes are served hot as well, as the club lounge employs young individuals who may lack the knowledge on how to handle such items. Making sure the food stays hot, constantly replenishing it, and ensuring it's always fresh. There are still a lot of young people working here, but they lack the training on how to do things properly in a luxury hotel. They need some training. Still great friendly employees. I'm happy to be here and I'd love to come back again. The Athenee will not win me over as a long-term guest who stays for an extended period of time here, but I will only stay in this hotel for a maximum of 1 day, then check out and check back in again for another day. But I certainly will not reserve anything for a duration exceeding 1 week, unless it offers an exceptionally significant financial benefit, which I also found for the other video, that frequently suggests booking for 3 or 4 days, extending your stay, and obtaining a lower price. That's unfortunately not really true. The Honda Best Hotel Tester always brings the facts to the table. It is necessary to discuss these things, even if someone might ask, what is the man getting worked up about? I believe it is about time to bring the facts to the forefront even more, and demonstrate the reality even more. Because I have the impression that the hotels are currently heading in the wrong direction, thinking they have the ability to do whatever they desire with us. And we, that's pretty obvious, are not just responsible citizens, but we are also savvy and clear-thinking individuals as well as customers who know exactly what they want. And we will not allow hotels to surpass us or show us up in any way, shape or form in the future.
sexy.